What's going on, my fellow zombies out there? Are we sleep deprived? Are we emotionally screwed up? Or are we sleep screwed up and emotionally deprived? This is the Weaver, John C. of Roseman, California, and a diary, the griever named John Weaver, which would be me. It's noon, Pacific Standard Time. I just clicked on 12:01. It's still the 9th of July, I think. Yeah, it's still Sunday. So, what's going on, guys? Responding to some posts out there. There was a there was a post on YouTube I was going for. It was concerning about religion. And how one particular orange gas bag who used to be a president of the United States is now still a liar and thief in chief. Yeah. He fostered so many people who believed that he was the Messiah or something like that, a prophet. And all I kept seeing was this con man doing his greatest con on a lot of people who were that stupid enough they couldn't see past their nose. I know it's insulting for me to say that, but it's true. I observed a lot of behavior. And yeah, I'm judgmental like crazy. There was supposed to be a quote in there concerning about Christ trying to tell people don't persecute this woman unless you already got zero sin in your life and you're able to cast the first stone at her to stone her to death. He was also trying to protect us sinners from ruining our lives, and yet we sinners are probably looked at Jesus and probably said, well, I haven't got any sin. Well, again, unfortunately, the ones who threw the stone at her wasn't recorded, but it should have been. I don't think I have any sin, therefore I'm going to throw the stone, and therefore I'll be judged anyway. She's got to be stoned. Yeah, if it was actually ever recorded back then, if somebody actually threw a stone, then I suppose Jesus would look at him very crosswise and say, you know, everybody's got sin. Not me, I'm walking on water. My name is Trump. So every time I keep hearing the name Trump these days, it seems like he walks on water and therefore anybody else who walks with him is also anointed. Oh, yeah. So how many people are going over the cliff this time? A single mob, actually, of them. Oh, yeah, I probably saw the woman who was getting stoned by everybody else, and she was being used as a scapegoat for everybody else that has a major malfunction. I don't think they understand that one either. Try this one. Having school boards affected across the country, left and right, including southern states and red states, who are hell bent on protecting their souls by damning knowledge and everything else around them, and introducing something that the U.S. Constitution mainly forbids. First Amendment. Shall we look at it? I take you to the Bill of Rights. First Amendment. What I'm trying to get into is the exact wording as I get into this. Okay, I need the U.S. Constitution, not the rest of this homogenized. Everything else is homogenized. Give me the exact. 18 pages of the Constitution? Huh. Is everybody? Oh yeah, and also the amendments on the process. That's right. So I'm just gonna have to view this thing. Well, I can do a research while people are here, can't I? And if not, I'm probably scared the living crap out of people because. Oh yeah. Well, I guess I'm still having problems with this damn thing. All right. So going to the Constitution Center here. I need to get the First Amendment. Article 1. No, I don't want the Article 1. I want the Bill of Rights. I want the Bill of Rights. Articles. Here we go. First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Basically, they're saying that there's no federal law out there that's going to tell the people. And basically, that's the government. And that could be construed all the way to the local level, saying that the Constitution rules everything else. We can have freedom of speech. You can talk about your religious freedom. But the problem is you cannot stick the religious aspects into public education, which is the government domain. Basically, I see that they do the prayers all the time in the U.S. Congress and Senate, maybe in the court systems. No, I haven't seen it in the court systems. They don't do that. They don't dare do that in the court systems. But why does a public school paid for out of the pocket of people, the public, have to have religious aspects into it when they're not even a private entity run by a religious entity, shall we say? Catholic Church is one of those entities that runs their own schools, their own churches, without government interference. The government doesn't come in there and say, I'm telling you not to do your religion here. No, they don't say that. But when it comes down for the public education, in which every student is held accountable, and the schools have to be, the schools are dependent upon the public money. And in order to get the public money, we need to find out how many heads we got in the school in the first place. So we have the state allotment coming down from the state capitals to pay for public education, and the money is coming out of our tax pocket. You know, my money pays for kids' education. It's that simple. I pay taxes into the system one way or another, and it gets transmitted as money to pay the teachers and to pay for the schools, period. I'm the public. It's a public education. I'm supporting a public entity. And in that entity, we're supposed to be educating the kids on topics such as science, math, law, history, physical education. And we can get deeper in that one. Philosophy, journalism. Get deeper than that, how to fix a car, how to drive, how to type, how to use a computer. Useful skills that kids are going to need down the road. But no, somebody else is going to be coming into the school boards all over and say, I don't like you, or I don't like this group over here because they're celebrating this, and therefore I want it gone. Okay, what's the group doing? It's promoting wrong ideas. Okay, what's the group? What's it doing? This is a sin against God. Kids are gathering around, celebrating a topic they like. Not the Antichrist, not the devil. You're going to be going against kids who celebrate science fiction and fantasy? How dare you! They're playing Dungeons and Dragons! And that promotes demons and devils! What's the difference when they go into your church and you're screaming and yelling about this damn thing? No wonder the kids don't like you. How dare you! And they're doing it at lunch and they're doing it after school and they're having a good time. They're getting social interaction with each other. No, that's wokeism! Dungeons and Dragons! How dare you! We need the Spirit of God to come in here. Well, God's welcome to be an advisor if he wants to, but this is still run by the state. This is still run by government. This is for the people to decide these kind of things, not religion. And which particular sect are you going to be forcing down people's throats? How dare you! I am a Christian. I am a holy warrior for God. And I tell you how it's going to be. Okay, so we get the moral righteous at this point over here. Going into a public educational facility at this point. Trying to teach these kids how to survive in today's world. We're not doing the moralistic just yet. Unless, of course, we're going to be having courses concerning about counseling and issues of social dynamics. No! The Bible is everything that you need. No, now, in the public education, we have different people who have different religious and different viewpoints on how to view the afterlife or the life within. They have their own viewpoints on life itself. And you're going to force one particular doctrine down people's throats? Sacrilegious! In a public education that is supported by the taxpayer has to be governed by a public educational board, also supported by the taxpayer, which is also covered under state and federal laws, which is also covered under the United States Constitution. Since when did the Constitution allow organized religion to take control of everything? When it's clearly stating in the Constitution, they're not recognizing any one religion, but they do allow everybody else to express their own religion and worship in it, but not force it down people's throats. And of course, the natural response is, so, imagine going into a school board and you have people arguing back and forth concerning about the books and selections, and viewpoints are going to be pushed into people's craniums at this point, including the kids. Well, because the Bible says this and the Bible says that. Yeah, I understand. But you're mocking the Bible. No, I'm not mocking the Bible. Or maybe in a way I am. So I'm mocking God at this point. But the thing is, we've had this damn thing for over 200 and some years. And there had been court cases within the last century or more trying to tell people that, keep the religion out of the schools. Unless, of course, you're going to be a private entity. The public doesn't need it. The public entities don't need it at this point. And that's why the country's going over to hell and God. And speaking of which, I was seeing one of the progressives out there talking about pastor, or, I think he was a pastor at one time, Jim Baker. Back in the 80s, he was a con man. He was trying to tell people about religion and faith and everything else while bilking them left and right. And had himself some personal issues that got him kicked off, and then he had to struggle for survival, and now he's struggling for his sanity. Now he's saying that America is going to be facing God's wrath. I don't know. Because as I was trying to understand human history at this point, and trying to go back in some of the information I had and trying to remember all this stuff, we, as the 13 colonies originally, didn't want some government system shoving a religion down our throats. We wanted the freedom to express God in any other way that we knew and felt Him, and we didn't want to force that upon anybody else. We didn't want a government system doing that, or saying that in the United States government we have only one religion and that's it. We believe in pluralism, liberty, freedom, but you're going to be shoved this religion down your throat. It's no wonder we've had issues for a hell of a long while. Conservatives versus the progressives and the leftists and the rightists. Good Lord, we can't get our act together. Maybe we are cursed as the Tower of Babel was. Somewhere in the Bible they were talking about that in the Old Testament. I remember as a kid received a Bible album, colorful pictures in cartoon form, of telling us certain stories in a simple form that a kid could understand. And one of them was basically a story where men from all over the lands built this huge ass tower to reach the sky, to reach God somehow. Something in this story pissed God off of the tower and of men and what the hell was going on, that crumbled the tower and then cursed men to be different left and right. I never understood that. If God loved diversity so much, I mean, if He truly loved diversity that much, was this a lesson or a curse to mankind? Was this absolutely needed? Building a large, tall edifice that we have? We got edifices all over the damn place in our country and in different countries left and right. People are trying to find the tallest damn thing they can reach the sky and reach into space. Eventually we'll get an elevator tower. I don't know how the hell that damn thing's going to work. Rotation of the planet, left and right, not to mention wind shear factors. That may be done within a century or two. And the elevator is reaching out to the stars. At least that was one of the space transportation theories. If we can't get any light-speed engines, we'll just shove a rail car into space. Arthur C. Clarke wrote something about that one. 3001. 1,000 years from one point, where they're using rail cars to get from one place to another. But they always had this kind of problem. Every time I keep seeing these damn things, is rotation, rotation, rotation. It's not location, location, location. It's rotation, rotation, rotation. The Earth is constantly rotating on its axis. Tilted, but still rotating. And it wobbles around the sun. And it also has a moon going around it. So where the hell do we have this damn elevator shit? See, I can't figure that crap out. Even if there was an elevator situation happening on the moon, maybe. But from the Earth to the stars, doesn't work. And then you got the planets. And then you got asteroids. It just doesn't make sense. Must have figured things out left and right with the deflector shields, or I don't know. It just makes my mind boggle at the idea. But then you come with religion. So now we're going to have people with forced religion down people's throats left and right, and saying you must follow this because we say so. There's going to be people saying, no, we don't. Because now you're saying we can't we can't learn? But you don't have to. The Bible provides everything. No, it does not. And you're not seeing it. But you don't understand. No, you don't understand at this point. Yes, the Bible is good when it comes down for moral directions, and yes, for understanding maybe human behaviors left and right, and what we should and what should not do. But if you're going to be telling us what the direction we're going to be heading at this point over here, and telling us that in public education that religion has to be everything in it, no, we're not doing the forced indoctrination on people. And taking away books and education and anything else that we've got out there that'll help us expand our knowledge any way, shape, or form, I'm sorry, I'm against that too. I am a lover of the freedom of speech, and if you take that away from me, I'm going to be awfully pissed. Someone will probably tell me that I can't use certain things because they don't like it. Well, tough on them. The other things I'm being subjugated and governed is by agreeing to use different platforms by private entities who have made it their own rules and regulations. And if I happen to tick them off any way, shape, or form, they'll either do this or they'll say, and then I'm out. We depend upon the social media to share our ideas and our ideals. But there are limits that they'll deal with. They don't want to screw around with the government, but they sure as hell don't want to have everybody else telling them what to do. But some of them actually did scream, we need regulations from the government on this one. And we need the rules and regulations to be put upon here. And the problem is, we've had judicial problems with this. Over the past, 20 or 30 years since we had the internet. Maybe longer than that. The court cases still hadn't been able to define what kind of actions the government can take, because they're also weighing upon what each Congress is going to do to manage our communications and our freedom of speech. And then the courts have to decide whether or not it's constitutional or not. They have to weigh the greater sense instead of the smaller one. The smaller one wants religion in their school. Well, why? Because they're immoral. How so? This is a public education. Now, if you were in a different school system that actually had private, and you're actually able to do that to people, that's one thing. Then you're able to indoctrinate them. Public is government. Public is the government. And government is the public. Unfortunately, people keep forgetting this shit. Consent of the governed. Which means every single day I have to give consent to the government at this point over here. I got to give consent to the government system for hoping that the bureaucratic system's not going to squish me in any way, shape, or form. And yet, it's the government system that keeps me theoretically safe. I mean, I do get fire services, I do get police services, I get money taken out of my pocket to pay for that. Possibly clean water if we actually had a system working on that one, but if we have private entities doing that one, then are they regulated? Rules and regulations. That's the problem. That some people don't like the rules and regulations because they think it's going to be a handcuff on them. What do they want? Complete anarchy? What happens if we actually did vote for complete anarchy at this point over here? I mean, we actually voted for complete anarchy. No rules, no regulations. Everything else going out of control. What kind of a screwed up planet we're going to be having at that point? Coalitions under whose command? Under whose will? We would have religious wars. Well, let's see, we are having religious wars. We have governments going after each other. Hey, we got that going on right now as it is. We have government systems going after each other. Take a look around. So now we have to have a religious order coming in saying it is by the word of me, since I am the word of God, and I'm telling you, you got to knock it off. Of course, people are going to be looking at him saying, who the hell are you? How dare you tell me that? We're asking the question. If you can't answer the question, get the hell out of here. And by the way, who gives you the right over us in the first place? How dare you? We dare because you're not answering the question. I don't have to answer the question. You have to obey me. Who the hell are you? Yeah, that's what I don't like sometimes. They kept saying that Donald Trump was one of these kind of guys. He was going to challenge the system left and right that we had built for over 240 something years concerning about democracy and established, well, limitation of freedom, but we got freedom anyway. It is a limited freedom. You can go as far as you can, but there are going to be drawbacks on some things. For instance, I can't go outside and have a bonfire in an apartment complex right by my house or by my door. I could if I wanted to. I could put up a grill, theoretically, right in front of my apartment complex and have an open flame. Now, do you understand what stucco, how it's affected by fire? Melts. And underneath the stucco and underneath the paint, is there anything concerning about, let's say, wood construction? Of course, metal under a certain amount of degree will melt if it's hot enough. Smoke chars a lot of things. Colors, discolors a lot of things, and the smell of it sucks. But here's the thing, the company that manages the property would say no, because. And they will cite out state and local laws telling me that even if I wanted a barbecue right there and there, it's not wise, it's dangerous as hell, and there are dangerous repercussions. Of course, me being a dummy, I'm just going to go out there with my little barbecue over there, and I'm going over next to the wall, and I'm going to start up a flame. Because I want to get my freshest food. Regardless of someone else's safety at this point over here, hell, I could probably put it right next to my neighbor's door. And upon putting it in front of the neighbor's door and letting it loose and smoking in the fire like crazy, am I being considerate and understanding that the stuff I'm doing right now, besides being illegal, it's dangerous as hell? Oh, hell no. No. What do I want? But since it's already past July 4th and I can't celebrate my grilling out there, even though I'm several feet away, there is a grilling area in an open area available. Oh no. I'm pulling out my little. I'm putting up my little domed grill here, portable one, and I got it filled to the hilt with charcoal now, and I'm making this fire, and I closed the door, and I think it's going to take some time before the fire settles down. So I'm not paying attention to what the hell is going on out there. Meanwhile, smoke alarms are going off crazy in the whole damn complex. Particularly, let's see, the apartment over here, the apartment over there, the apartment over here. They're going insane. And other people are looking at me and saying, Okay, so they're calling 911 at this point over here. It'll take about 10 to 15 minutes to get the fire engine over here, and maybe that long for the police department. During that time, how much damage can my stupidity thing be here? Okay, so we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. I'm saying this as an example, by the way. This is not happening. So bear with me on this one. Okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I'm doing other things. I'm going to take a nap. Well, first I got to go to the bathroom to do something about it in about 30 minutes. Maybe take a shower. No, no, no. Let's see. We do the biological relief, then we do the shower, and then we take a nap. It'll take some time for the barbecue to do its thing. Now, did I leave the lid on or off? I don't care. I'm going to take a nap anyway. Screw it. I'm going to bed, and I'm going to lay down, and I'm going to sleep. Meanwhile, we have a structure fire happening at this point over here. My dog is suffering through smoke at this point over here, and I don't give a shit. I'm sleeping through a CPAP machine. I'm still I'm coughing up smoke, and I don't know why. I'm going to blame the neighbors over there for their damn barbecue. Doesn't matter that I already started something stupid over here, that the door is already hot and burning down at this point over here. There's flames coming through everywhere else. I'm devastating the entire building here. But I don't care. I have freedom to do this now, don't I? I don't care about the laws. The laws told me I can do it one way, so I'm doing it another way. What the hell do I care? I'm faithful. I'm pray to God. God's working with me on this one now, isn't he? Meanwhile, at this place, we've already got, let's see, we've got that apartment going up in flames unless somebody else is trying to get a fire extinguisher, and there's people yelling and screaming left and right. If there are any animals in there, they're dead already. The apartment over here, which is empty, well, the fire alarms are going crazy, and the fire sprinklers are trying to douse as much as they can. And I'm not paying attention to anything because my bed's already soaking wet right now. Because at this point, we got the fire extinguishers going off. The main alarm is screaming and yelling its head off. I'm not paying attention to it. I'm in La La Land. I'm in sleepful bliss. Doesn't matter. I'm probably going to be dying at any second now because of lack of oxygen at this point. But hell, now the fire has already reached in the apartments over here. And in the apartments over here. My dog's already dead. But I am just barely conscious. Because I'm going to have grilled hot dogs on an open flame, close to where I can get to the door and just start my barbecue. Meanwhile, I have caused a lot of death and destruction in this place. Now, how is that going to be rectified? I'm sorry, I'm following the will of God in this one. You can't stop me on this. God told me to do this. The song that was done in the movie Billy Jack. No, it was actually said Billy Jack with Tom Laughlin in it. The soundtrack that they had in there. One tin soldier rides away. Go ahead and hate your neighbor. Go ahead and cheat a friend. Do in the name of heaven that you'll be justified in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing on the judgment day. In the morning after, one tin soldier rides away. I barely remember the lines on that one. Go and hate your neighbor. Go and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven. You'll be justified in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing on the judgment day. On the morning after, one tin soldier rides away. That song had been in my head for so many decades on this one. I don't think people ever actually caught it. Caught the gist of it, though. So my exercise of thinking what I know is appropriate, I had just created a scenario where I have put myself in mortal danger and damn near killed myself, or probably had killed myself in the process, while destroying property or doing something stupid, such as barbecuing in front of the damn door, or actually barbecuing in front of a neighbor's door. Is that justifiable? Is that okay? Is that righteous? What happens if my religion says I'm allowed to do that? I was indoctrinated in a school by religious people in a public education that told me that I can burn down my people's houses down because God has willed it. I would think God would have a lot more common sense than humanity has. I would think that God would look at us and wonder what the hell's going on with us in here and in here. True, He gave us freedom, and yet we wanted laws governed by men. But we understand the principles concerning about what we were given in the first place, concerning about our moral compasses. And to me, I look at the holy texts in different books as guideways on how we're supposed to be behaving towards each other and looking at life. And understanding that there are powers greater than ourselves out there. So my question, long as this is and boring as hell to a hell of a lot of people, why would you allow a religious doctrine over here to guard and guide your life at this point over here and tell you exactly what you're going to be doing in a public educational facility? Especially when the U.S. Constitution, that was created over 240 something years ago, who feared that religious indoctrination of people and of one particular religion was acceptable and everything else wasn't. How do you call yourself someone who loves pluralism, liberty, and freedom for all when you're stuck and confined with one thing and you got to force it on everybody else because you were told to do so? Think on that one. And if you don't like me, or you do like me, hit the like or dislike. But if you do like me, you're telling the zeros and ones over at YouTube and Google that, my God, there's something salvageable of this ranting and raving here of a lunatic. And leave a comment. Let me know if you're going to be giving me the bird or maybe a thumbs up. Or you're just going to tell me that I am too damn long-winded. I hope so.